Hello everyone, it's Marina. I'm here to do a share with you. These are my Bohemian journals that I've made, and I was going to just do a flip through, and I have a couple more that I'm going to be sharing, so at the end of that I will go ahead and tell you. I was also requested that I do a tips and advice basically for if you're going to make these journals, or a journal similar, or whatever you're doing. I will basically explain, I will do a separate video explaining like how I guess give more details about how I do stuff, and I will have a link below of the video that I made recently of how to make a Bohemian junk journal. And this is just a junk journal, and I used laces, trims, I used fibers, I used everything that I've had in my stash for a long time, and the only really new stuff that I used is this beautiful fabric here. So I will be, like I said, I'll be making a video just for that after I'm done doing my flip-throughs. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and these are both, well, this one is 6x9 and this one is about 5x9. So I'm going to go ahead and do a flip-through, and we'll start with this one. So the closure on this one is a wraparound, and it wraps around a lot. And on the cover, well, I used upholstery that I bought online at fabric.com, and a lot of fibers, a couple of doilies here. There's rosette trim. This trim I've had in my stash for forever. It's just this little tiny piece, and I finally used it. I have some blue lace here, some vintage lace, and some trim here, some gold trim. And I went ahead and frayed the edges of everything. And then in here, I have some actual vintage trim that I put in here, and some rosette on the spine. And it is a single signature, and of course I will have these listed on my Etsy shop. After I post the videos, if they're not there, it's because they sold. So if you have any questions about them, just let me know, and I will do my best to get an answer to you. It is easier for me to contact people on Facebook. With my daughter, it's been hard to sit down, because I like to sit down on my computer and reply to everybody in the comments, and I haven't been able to do that very much, but I'm working on it. I'm getting there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish my flip through here. So I've done a lot of sewing, and in here is this gold lace is this gold ribbon is vintage, and I just sewed onto it with some maroon lace, or burgundy, whatever color that is, and turned it into a side tuck pocket. Here is some parchment paper that I've coffee dyed, and I stitched around right here and on the edges and made it into an envelope. And I just have some, I found that inside. This is from one of my True West books, and it's got some really neat art in it, so I put that in here. There's some note paper here. There's a few pages. I think mostly all the pages are coffee dyed or glimmer misted. This is a glimmer misted page. And I just have a bunch of, like, everything in here. It's just, like I said, it's just a junk journal, and I did use my junk box for most of the stuff in here. This is a vintage piece of jewelry right here, and I just put this in here, and I got this in one of my boxes from Sherry. And I sewed this lace on here, so it would be a pocket, and it would also do, you know, that little pretty thing on the edge. And I put some clothespins. Are they clothespins? Garment pins. And I just put a little charm on there. This one's an owl. I just have some ephemera in here. And here, this is a empty pocket I got this from a flower shop. And then here's a little glassine envelope where I just have a couple of little pieces inside. And it tucks into this pocket. This is that one. And I put some vintage trim down here, or vintage lace. I don't think it's lace. I guess it's a form of lace, crocheted lace, crochet trim, something like that. Here's a really pretty page. I love this page and how it turned out. It's so pretty. And I like that it's like a little, it just looks, it's like half a page, so it looks cool. Deli paper, some more clipped-on paper. I sewed some trim onto here. And I turned my deli paper into a pocket and just tucked in some old ephemera. And here's another one of the pages from the Old West book, or True West book. Russian paper from a book, teaching book. I love this paper, you guys. This is parchment paper. And I sewed all the way around this and then turned it into an envelope. And it's just got some ephemera inside. And I don't always go completely embellishment crazy. I just want there to be like spots of interest, interesting things in here. That way the recipient, my goal for my journals is to have my recipient use them. I know a lot of them are pretty, but I want you guys, like if you buy a journal from me, my goal is I want you to use it. Like I want you to put your own stuff in here, decorate it, do your own thing. Of course I will have like, of course a little bit of stuff in here that's inspiring or pretty, but for the most part I want the recipient to do their own thing in here. And then I have a charm on the edge of the flip here. And that just opens up. And clips back on. Some more ephemera in here. And a lot of my printouts I got from Tsunami Rose. And I will have her Etsy shop linked below. There's another garment pin here with a bird charm. And this is a Glitter Misted page I made a long time ago in my one of my dark journals, and I didn't end up using it. Pocket here. Have some stuff tucked in there. And this is a coffee dyed glassine bag. They look so pretty when they're coffee dyed. All the pockets are sewn on here. There's no, and I left a lot of the tails. If the recipient wants to cut them off, they can. If they want to leave them, they can. Here is a vintage French dictionary book page. I turn into a pocket. And then there's the back. So that is this one. And this just wraps around. And I just tuck this in back here. I mean, the recipient can cut it if they want to, or leave it however they want to do it. It'll be their journal. So that is this one. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through for this one. And this is some vintage ribbon. So pretty, isn't it? I love this stuff. I was going to cut off this part right here, but I didn't want it to come apart, so I left it. Okay, so this one is so pretty to me. I love this one. I usually use these colors. I don't use colors like this, but I felt like I really wanted to try something different. So This is one of my earrings. I got two earrings. I never got to wear these because I lost the other one. The other one was gone, so I was sad, and I decided to just turn this into a little charm. I just put it on here with a garment pin, and I sewed some buttons onto here, some vintage buttons. Actually, this button is new, but the rest of them are vintage. I put some fibers here, some lace, some ribbon back here, and I frayed the edges. Here is vintage ribbons layered on top of each other. There's 1, 2, and then there's 3. This blue ribbon was gifted to me, or blue lace. And I just sewed it on here. So pretty. So that's the back. And I'm just going to go ahead and go inside. I went ahead and sewed these up here. And sewed some on right here. And I just had some extra, so I just used the little extra bits and sewed those on. Made this into a pocket. There's nothing in this one. I think I have a tag somewhere. Do I? Yes. My box just sits right next to me, so that goes right in there. And this just tucks right in there. Another Old West page. Some more pages from Tsunami Rose, some designer pages. I just have this tucked into here. This is a glassine bag I painted and then stamped on. And I just have some ephemera in there. I sewed a pocket onto here with this lace. So pretty. And then just a pocket. I like to use my extras if I can, especially if it goes with a coordinating journal. So, some more lace that I sewed on. Another True West page. Little pockets up here. And then a pocket here. Just got a library book card tag and some ephemera, and I just sewed this on, and I guess it could double as a tuck spot. And in here I sewed a pocket on. I made another parchment paper envelope, and I sewed it onto here. And inside there's an envelope here. And I don't know if I did put anything in here. Yeah, there's just a couple of pieces of ephemera in here. And this one, and this is really cute because it's got this little opening right here. So you can actually like stick something in there. How cute is that? So I just sewed it. It was some leftover cutout that I had, and I don't like to throw those away when they make perfectly good ephemera pieces. So that closes, and then it's the next page, and I have some actual vintage stuff here, and it's like library reference cards. Library reference cards. I remember these. I used to look in there and have no idea what the heck I was looking at, but old book page. That tucks in there, and then I have some cheesecloth sewn on there, some more lace, a little key on there, and a garment pin. Some more trim, corner pocket, and that flips up, of course. Idea from Yvonne. I got it from Yvonne. I'm sure somebody else did it, but I got it from Yvonne. And there's another pocket here. This is a paper bag that I stamped on, and I did it in bulk while I was pregnant. I just stamped out a bunch of them, and I use them as I can. And there's this is just a deli paper, coffee dyed deli paper pocket. Woo! Say that like 5 times. And then in here, I have some ephemera, and it's from another one of them from the flower shop, and that just goes in there. here I have a bead and a little umbrella charm. It just clips on there. Down here I put some old vintage it's this weird this weird vintage trim that I have that was in one of the boxes that I purchased from Sherry, and it's pretty neat. It's really strange, but it's neat. More ephemera. And it's tucked into the other side of that glassine bag. Here is one of my CD sleeves that I've stamped on and turned into a pocket. I cut the flap off and I just sewed it on. I put some lace down here, and it is a double pocket actually. It's got 2 pockets, and so I just put that in here. So I can tuck it back here and you won't see it, or you can put it up front in the window, in the little window here. Oh, and when I stamp, I don't stamp on all of them, but this one I stamped on, and I use Stays On ink. That way the image stays on here, and I thought it was really neat. And the pockets, and the ephemera tucked in there. On the page, I sewed some of that trim on here. It's so pretty. Love how that looks. And then my True West book page at the back, and some more ephemera. This one's vintage, this one isn't, but I thought that was cool. So those just tuck in there. And then there we go. So that is this journal. And this has a wraparound closure too. I think they all have wraparound closures or just tied closures. I have 2 more I'm going to show you, and then I will do my video for the tips. And that just wraps around this one right here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the flip through of these ones. Let me know if you have any questions about them. I'll do my best to answer them for you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Hope everyone's doing well. Bye.